Hey, today I want to talk to you about another fandom that I love, which is DC. DC Comics, DC TV shows, DC movies. I love those things. But there's something DC you may not be familiar with, and that's the DC Icon series of young adult books. I'm going to talk about each of these books individually over time. I try to diversify what books I'm talking about as I go. But let me start by saying that it's a series of 4 books that have come out already. The first book that came out was Wonder Woman Warbringer, which was written by Leigh Bardugo, who you may know from the Grisha series. There was Batman Nightwalker, written by Marie Lu, who you may know from the Legend trilogy. There was Catwoman Soul Stealer, written by Sarah J. Maas, who you may know from the Throne of Glass series, which I already talked about in another video. And then there is Superman Dawnbreaker, written by Matt De La Pena, who's written such great books as Mexican White Boy, and the children's book Love, too, which is a beautiful book if you haven't had a chance to check that out. So I'm going to talk to you today about Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu. So first of all, if you've ever read anything by Marie Lu, she is a fantastic writer. High energy, great action, keeps you on the edge of your seat. Batman Nightwalker is no different from that, I'll say. Also, Batman Nightwalker, all of these books, they typically follow the protagonist, the superhero that we know, when they are a teenager and maybe have not come into the identity of who they're going to be yet. So, for Batman Nightwalker, Bruce Wayne is in high school. His parents have already passed away, and he is just turning 18. He's about to be given control of Wayne Enterprises. He has a couple of really close friends that kind of keep him sane. One of whom is Harvey Dent, who is he goes to high school with, who has his own kind of challenges as well. But he is wrestling with, what to do with all this money that he's come into, how he can help people the best. And he's getting more and more, he's finding himself having a hard time leaving injustice and bad people alone. So he ends up coming up against this gang that has essentially like targeted rich people because they believe that the rich people are a plague, that the rich people have done too many things that have hurt people, and they want to get back at those rich people for that. And so they're going into the rich people's houses, they're stealing things, but they're also killing the people who live in there. And Bruce Wayne might be on the list. So one day he ends up actually helping to stop one of those people. Whether that's considered wise or not, he does. And he ends up getting in trouble for what he does because he wrecks his car, and he ends up getting community service, and his community service is that he has to work in Arkham Asylum. And so he ends up meeting this beautiful young person who's part of this gang, and there's a relationship that blossoms, whether that be a friendship, whether that be a romance, or maybe it's all a lie. And he is trying to figure out what to believe and what not to believe, but he's also trying to make sure that he stops this gang. And he's coming to find who he is. So if you get a chance to read it, Batman Nightwalker, one of the DC Icon series of young adult books, highly recommend it. And I also recommend you check out the other ones, which I hope to talk about again soon.